If you want to learn how to make old school Eminem beats just like this, in this video, I'm going to break everything down for you and show you how to make the melodies, what VSTs you should be using, and what to do with the drums. I'm sure you've all heard his new track Houdini by now, which at the time I'm filming this is trending #1 on YouTube and has over 30 million views, so just crazy numbers. It's got a lot of people talking about how the old Eminem's back, and the beat definitely has that nostalgic Slim Shady vibe, kind of like Without Me. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make something similar. I've been listening to his music and dissecting it for years, so I want to show you exactly how to capture that authentic sound. And yo, on the 21st of June, I'm dropping my brand new boom bap bundle called the Crate Collection. It has my first ever boom bap production course, a drum kit, a loop kit, a one-shot kit, a phrase kit, and an analog lab bank. All the sounds were recorded with live drums and all the production classes were filmed by me. So if you want to learn more about boom bap and get access to hundreds of sounds and presets, I've left a link to the waitlist in the description. Anyone who's on that list will get a huge discount and a bunch of other bonuses. So save the 21st of June in your calendar and let's get straight into it. Alright, so I've got FL Studio open, and the first thing I'm going to do is set the BPM. Now for this style of Eminem beat, where it's more of his playful, catchy style, the BPM usually sits between 100 and 130. Houdini is at 127, Without Me is at 112, and the real Slim Shady is 102. So I've just got mine set to 118 for now. And the first sound I'm using is actually one from a new analog lab kit called Alchemy. It's a sound inspired by Slim Shady, and it's a clavinet. So you can hear already it's kind of got that old school Eminem vibe to it. So we're going to start with this and just come up with some sort of simple but catchy melody. So I've got an idea of a melody. Just trying to keep it really simple. Something like this. Then I'm thinking this could loop round, and then we'll change something in the second half. Could bring that up. Now to get more of a mysterious dark vibe at the end, like classic Eminem, I'm going to use the note B, because I can see here that I'm working in the C minor scale. Let me just turn highlighting on so you can see what I'm saying. Now normally B wouldn't be in the scale, but if I use it, it's going to turn it to a harmonic minor scale. And without making it too complicated, it's just going to give it a darker, more mysterious vibe. See what I'm saying? So really simple melody. We'll just randomize the velocity a bit. So this is going to be the foundation. We'll just copy it for now, because we might come back to that soon. When I'm making melodies and I'm trying to emulate a certain style, especially from like the early 2000s, you want to think about what tools they had at that time. So I know they were using things like the Juno 106, maybe the Moog, the Triton, which was really popular. Analog Lab's really good for that. And then I also have the Triton, which I'm going to show you now. So the Triton was used so much back in the early 2000s by people like Pharrell, Timbaland, I'm sure Dr. Dre too. A lot of 50 Cent beats and so many different artists you can think of back then had sounds from this Triton. But obviously it was the actual synth version and not the plugin. I'm just going to use this grand piano. With this, I just want some plucks. Maybe invert this. Something like... Bring that down. Copy that again. So maybe one more time, and then copy it, and I think get rid of this. We could use that B note again. Let's try this. And then just for the ending, we'll get rid of this note. There we go. See that tiny bit of variation? Thinking in one half, maybe we could bring some notes down. Maybe that. Alright, I want some low end now, so I've pulled up Analog Lab and I've got the Juno 6V, which is an emulation of the Juno 106, a classic synth. And I found this bass that I like. I think this will work well, and all I want to do is just copy that main melody. Just bring it down a few octaves. Maybe there. Then we can stretch these out. And then these ones that sound a bit too high, we'll just bring those back down. Same at the the end here. I'm just going to fatten up that bass a bit. So I'm going to pull up Decapitator, and I'm just using the beefy preset. So before, after, add some weight to it. Then I'm also just filtering out some high end. There we go. Okay, let's clone Triton. So I want to see if we can find a different sound now. I'm thinking some sort of pluck or guitar, because guitars were really popular for Eminem beats. Maybe this one. Could even just use it to kind of emphasize some notes. Yeah, there we go. Control A to highlight them, Shift and click to copy, then Control down to bring them down an octave, and this will just thicken up the sound. Next up, I think we need some high end, so again, I'm just pulling up Triton, and I want to find some strings that can play in certain parts. Maybe these, you know, we could just even have one note, like the root note playing, and then when it gets to maybe this part, we'll switch it up and just have that same pattern again. So we're just emphasizing certain notes. Try this. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be the one. Just need to take some low end out of the keys though. Save room for that bass. I think we could push the strings further back too. Just so they're more in the background. Maybe some chorus on that guitar. Alright, one more thing I want to add is a lead from the Juno, and I might just have this in some certain parts to give it that Dr. Dre vibe. I've just copied in the main melody. We'll press Ctrl and L to link the notes, Ctrl and A to highlight everything. Then I'm just going to hold Alt, left click and drag just so the notes overlap a little bit, and this will give it that gliding effect. Just want that West Coast vibe somewhere. I'm also bringing up the attack a bit so that first note has the same effect. There we go. Let's see what a different key sounds like as well. So I've just highlighted everything. We'll go up here, transpose selected. Let's try a down one. That would work. Let's try up 3 from here. Yeah, maybe that. I'm gonna go to my new boom bap bundle. Let's have a listen to some of these, man. Breaks are sounding crazy, and at the time of filming this kit isn't done yet, but we could grab some sounds from it. Just really like this one. Nice and clean. Let's grab a hi-hat too. Which one could we use? Maybe something like this. Or we could start by filling every 2-step, and if you listen to a lot of his beats, it was just a simple hi-hat pattern. We're just going to play with velocity and moving a few of them off grid. We could take those and copy them and then change a few here. And then just copy this one. So we've got some variation. There we go. For the kick, I still want something punchy. I think I just want a simple repetitive pattern, something like this. Could add a couple lower velocity ones too. There we go. I feel like I'm losing a bit of bass in that kick, so I'm going to sidechain it to the bass. This obviously isn't something they had back in the day, but I'm going to use track spacer. Every time the kick hits, it's going to carve out some of that bass, but it's going to do it in a dynamic way. So it just sounds a lot smoother. There we go. We'll bring in this airy open hat as well. I'm going to right click on the hi-hat, select cut itself, and do the same with the open hat, but I'll set it to the same number. And this will just mean that none of them will overlap. And then where I add an open hat, I'm going to get rid of a hi-hat. I think just that one. Again, listen to the Eminem drum patterns. They're really simple. Switch that for this one on my timeless boom bap kit. I'm also going to layer that snare with this Gangland one from my Trap Lords kit, because it doesn't sound too trappy, and if I turn it down, it should blend well. There we Same for the drums, you really don't need any more than that. And if you don't believe me, just go back and listen to those tracks. But what we do need to do is figure out the arrangement. So I'm going to go ahead and split this. We'll copy it out a few times. Without Me and Houdini both actually start with the drums. So let's try this. Yeah, this might sound sick actually. Just starting with the bass in that melody. And in some parts I want that main melody to come down an octave. Okay, so I'm thinking we keep it 8-bar intro and then we'll cut the drums here. Yeah, there we go. We'll get rid of the lead though. So everything comes in here. We have this down an octave. Yeah, there we go. So we'll have this 8-bar hook, and then when it drops into the verse, it could come back down an octave. Yeah, there we go. I think we only have the guitars at the end, and then maybe the keys can come down an octave in some parts. 8 bars here, then in the second half, I think we'll still keep it down an octave, but just bring something new in, like these guitars. So we could keep a 16-bar verse, but a lot of the older Eminem tracks actually go a little bit longer. So what I'm thinking is we could just add maybe 4 bars here, just so the energy dips and then picks right back up for the hook. So it goes from this. We'll cut the bass there too. So we've got a bridge, and then we'll bring everything in for the hook. And then because it's the second hook, I'm going to bring that lead in. And then we'll copy everything from the verse over again. And then to help with the arrangement, I think I just want to strum some keys halfway through the verse, and then maybe have a string just rising up before the hook. Let's grab this tape Rhodes from my alchemy kit, and we're just going to use that first chord. We'll just strum the notes out. And I think strum it out even more. And then as a reverb. So, okay, last thing I'm just going to add is this string one shot. So I've got this long note, and then this here. I'm just going to add some reverb to that. And then just filter out some high end. And then when it gets to the last hook, I'm repeating that twice, but in the second section, I've just got the strings playing that same melody, but up an octave. And then I think it can just finish on one note. Yeah, there we go. So let's have a listen from the beginning. So just starting with the drums, getting that vibe straight away. This is sounding hard, you know. Definitely getting the old school Slim Shady vibe. Now we've got everything down an octave, but we're just keeping that rhythm with the drums. Got the Rhodes, and then the guitar as well, of course the strings. So I hope you're feeling this one, man. If you like the sounds I was using, make sure you join the waitlist in the description. Back to the bridge. But if you want a more modern Eminem tutorial, just click up here.